So ADA ended up tapping into this target that I set out in my previous update, where I mentioned I was on the lookout for ADA to be within a WXY structure to the upside to form the fourth wave. And here you can see that we ended up reaching 81.19 cents, and we more or less got rejected at the 50 EMA, which was bearish, and that then led to this recent move to the downside. And so, yeah, as of right now, I'm looking at for ADA to have formed the fourth wave at 81.19 cents, and for ADA to be within a reversal to the downside, where we can then begin to track the wave 5. And should that be the case, that could then form the wave Y. And I'm looking at for this wave Y to then tap into this range between 68 cents to 73 cents. So if I drop down to the hourly chart, essentially what we need within this fifth wave is for a 5-wave structure to form. So essentially what we need is for something to this effect to play out. So it's very much possible that we are now within this wave 1. And for ADA to be bearish, what we need is for the price of ADA to first and foremost breach past this level at 76.45 cents. And then for the price of ADA to then breach past this level here, which is the local bottom at 75.42 cents. And in doing so, that would then confirm that we topped off at this level, and we could then see that further push to the downside where we can then tap into this range. And before I go to the minute chart, what you can see is we did get rejected at the 200 DMA, which is also slightly bearish. So if I drop down to the minute chart, what I'll do is check to see what's taken place within this recent move to the downside. And so if I zoom in and bring in the fib tool and bring this to 80.9 cents, and so, yeah, here you can see that we ended up exceeding the 1.618 level at 80.02 cents. So if I zoom in slightly, it looks like here we ended up reaching the 1.618 level exactly at 80.02 cents. And then we saw a short pump to the upside to form the wave 4 at 8.1 cents. And then we saw that move to the downside to complete the fifth wave, where we ended up bottoming out at 79.82 cents. And so this 5-wave structure formed the wave 1. And we then had a correct move to the upside that played out made up of a WXY structure. So if I bring in the fib tool and bring this to 79.94 cents, and the Y wave typically retraces anywhere between 1 to 1.236. And here you can see that we ended up reaching 8.59 cents. And so we ended up tapping into this range here. And so we had this correct move that played out, and that was then followed by a further push to the downside where we ended up reaching past this level here, which then confirmed that we topped off at this level. And so what I'm going to look out for right now is for a 5-wave structure to form. So if I remove some of this and remove this, so what I'm going to look out for right now is for this move to the downside to form the wave 1, and for this correct move to the upside to form the wave 2. And then we see a wave 3, 4, and 5 play out, and that will then form this wave 1. And so short term, the next key target for ADA would be the 1.618 level. So if I bring in the fib tool and bring this to 80.59 cents, and so yeah, the next key target for ADA will be this level here at 78.41 cents. That will then form the wave 3 as a bare minimum, and then we could see the wave 4 and the wave 5 play out like so to then complete this wave 1. And so, yeah, as it stands right now, it looks like we are still bearish. If I go back to the 4-hour chart, what you can see is we are within the overbought conditions. And so I'm anticipating the bears to continue to regain momentum and drive the price of ADA down towards lower lows. And the same can be said on the 8-hour chart, where we are within the overbought conditions. And very quickly, if I go back to the 4-hour chart, given that I'm anticipating this wave 4 to have formed, the next key target will be the wave 5 target, which typically retraces anywhere between 1.236 to 1.618 of the wave 4. So if I bring in the fib tool and bring this to the local top at 81.19 cents, and so it's possible that ADA could then tap into this range between 72.06 cents to 74.12 cents. That would then form the fifth wave, which in turn could then form the Y wave. And then shortly after, we'll be looking out for that reversal to the upside, where we can then see high highs. But of course, that's something I'm going to be tracking in the days and weeks to come, and I'll be keeping you guys updated. And so, yeah, that's just my update on Cardano ADA. Hopefully you found this useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit the like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.